Hello interwebs, and welcome to S.P.L.U.S.H, the human revolution. Okay, here for you today I have our very first versus video. Now, unfortunately, I was planning on doing this in a consistent manner, just like I'm going to do these sequel videos. I plan to split it up into several categories, but the contestants today are so evenly matched, and everyone knows they're evenly matched, that measuring most of those areas is just kind of a waste of time. So, the contestants, of course, as you may have seen on the title, if you can read, I hope you can read, the contestants are Superman and Goku. And the reason I'm doing this is because Screw Attack doesn't know how to do versus videos at all. And yes, they have that nice little animation that I could never pull off with my current software, but at the same time, they have no math, no logic. I mean, Yoshi versus Riptar? Pikachu versus the Jolly Green Giant from Street Fighter? And who came up with that crap? No one wants that. Shadow versus Vegeta? Where did this shit come from? I mean, some of them make sense, but some of them are just plain stupid. And a lot of the math they do just doesn't make sense at all. Like that video, Cloud versus Link. Yeah, Link probably would win because he's a better swordsman, but he wouldn't have the same items that you listed because you listed items from like 20 different games, and if you're going to use his best equipment from all his different games, why would you use the Hylian shield instead of the mirror shield? Everyone knows the mirror shield is stronger. And the tunic, it's just like, where the hell do you get off on this? Just like, stop. Research, just stop. Ugh. So, of course, they also screwed up Superman vs. Goku. And the reason why they screwed it up is because they did terrible math. I mean, they used feats of speed from Season 1 for a Season 11 character. Just, no. That doesn't work. That does not work ever at all. Just don't. And then they pulled a lot of stuff that just doesn't make any sense at all. And as a huge fan of both sides, I'm going to do an honest review. The reason I'm not going into all the categories of speed, strength, defense is because they're pretty level on those areas. Superman, he has super speed, he has super strength, he has an incredible defense. He's not invincible, he has a high defense, he has an ion shield, essentially, that is fueled by his solar panel skin. I don't know why he gets power from the sun, except that he's Kryptonian, so he gets power from the sun. But that fuels an ion shield around his body that keeps him safe. The shield can be broken by a lot of different things, however, so it's not perfect. First of all, kryptonite obviously makes him weak in all areas, just saps away all his powers. Well, depending on the kind of kryptonite. But also, magic instantly penetrates his shield with no effort. Nylon and other synthetic materials are somehow him in certain versions of the comic. I don't know why. There were a few issues where he's weak against nuclear radiation, even though he gets all his power from the sun, which is basically a giant nuclear reactor in the sky. So, logic. There are also versions where he's weak against pollution and things like that. That just, why? Where does this come from? So we'll assume that he has his two standard weaknesses, kryptonite and magic, which are consistent throughout the different versions of Superman. Other than that, he can repel almost any physical attack. It just, his shield gets weaker over time, but it can easily be replenished as long as he's got sunlight. So that's his defense. Goku, yeah, he's incredibly strong. He does training with 10,000 pounds on each limb, just flying, punching things in midair, just like no problem. Yeah, he's super fast. I mean, he can dodge FTL beams on a regular basis, so, and by the way, FTL means faster than light. Yeah, so he's pretty super fast. And as far as defense goes, I mean, yeah, he gets beat up sometimes, but he can tank shots that would break the planet. I mean, there's no big deal there. So, whether or not so in those areas, I'd say they're pretty similar. I mean, they're both planet breakers, they're both incredibly fast, and they're both incredibly durable. Now, as to the exact degree, it's impossible to calculate because, one, Goku doesn't have. I mean, DBZ is literally a giant collection of plot holes. There is no explanation of specific little things like that. It's just not there. But and honestly, DC is not much better. They may give specific numbers, but they always give different specific numbers, and there are so many different versions of the comics that it is just plot holes galore. There's just no logic to this huge mess of different comics that crash in on each other. Just no. So in those three areas, they're pretty much the same. Where it gets different are intelligence and combat ability. Superman wins intelligence hands down. Goku's a complete idiot. End of story. But Superman loses in combat skill because he fights like a street thug. I mean, his only moves are punch the guy in the face, tackle the guy, and if those fail, laser eyes. Those are his only combat skills. That's it. I have never once seen Superman throw a kick in my entire life, and I've been a big fan since I was very little. So, yeah, it's no. But Goku, on the other hand, is a trained martial artist. And he's not just trained by one guy, he's trained by, I think, somewhere around 10 or 12 masters on Earth, in outer space, in the afterlife. I mean, really. And he spent close to 50 years honing his skills day in and day out, even to the point of neglecting his family. Like, seriously, he is a master of martial arts. You know, and quite frankly, if Wonder Woman could beat him because she had Amazoness training, that she beat Superman. I mean, because she had Amazon training, so she's a good fighter. That was the explanation they gave in the comics anyway. So if Wonder Woman could beat him with her little bit of Amazon training, then Goku, with his excessive martial arts background, yeah, I don't think there's much of a contest there. Also, like I said, Superman is weak to magic. Goku fights using ki, which, in the world of DBZ, is the fuel for magic, and he even uses it to do magical things. Now, I know a lot of fans will disagree with this, but think about it out of context. But think about it just as its own thing. He can teleport, he can fly, he can read minds, he can use telepathy, he can project his spirit from the afterlife, he can gather energy from life forms all across the universe, he can read the energy of a life form with his mind, he can use some ephemeral energy he collects from other life sources to enhance his physical power. You know, I mean, really? That sounds pretty magical. I mean, whenever he takes damage, he comes back even harder, just like for no real reason. Just, I mean, if you recover from a deadly blow, boom, smack. Yeah, he's magical. I mean, he never manifests objects like certain other magical characters do, but he has magical abilities. And even if you don't believe that his abilities are considered magic, well, what about his items? He usually carries the 4-star ball with him to remind him of his grandfather. I'm sorry, the Dragon Ball is definitely magical. The Nimbus Cloud, magic. The Power Pole, magic. Now I realize he doesn't have these items as much in Z, but he could easily grab them. I mean, he can teleport to anywhere in the world, in the universe, even through different dimensions. There's another magical ability. And he can shoot giant laser beams out of his hands. That doesn't sound magical to you? A huge planet-busting beam of energy is not magical? I'm sorry. But, yeah. Goku has to win this. There's just no real contest. I mean, Superman is strong, he's fast, he's durable, but he's not invincible. He's not perfectly durable. I mean, 2 hours without sunlight, and suddenly a character like Doomsday can kill him. Doomsday! It took him 1 issue to beat down Superman. I mean, they don't really give an exact timeline, but, I mean, it's probably like an hour or 2 fight, maybe 3 hours tops. And Doomsday wins. The issue is titled The Death of Superman, because he dies. Oh, sorry, Sleeping Coma. Or Death Coma, whatever, some stupid crap. He died. And Doomsday is the one that killed him. Doomsday, who is repeatedly made a fool of by Superman in other scenarios. I'm sorry, but if a character who is significantly weaker than you can kill you just because it's dark outside, then a character who is on par with you would utterly annihilate you. And what if the battle happened at night? Or it was cloudy? Or what if Goku moved them to Otherworld because he wanted to fight without restrictions? Because, you know, Goku would do that. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess he kind of would win that. Huh. So, future Versus videos will be more in-depth and analysis-y, but this one, really, there's no way around it. Goku wins. I mean, he's just a better fighter. So, till next time, Viva la Sploosh.